It took from 100 to 150 or 200 years for the astronomy of Kepler to become the astronomy of Newton and Laplace, and for the mechanics of Galileo to become the mechanics of D'Alembert and Lagrange. On the other hand, less than a century has elapsed between the publication of Adam Smith's work and the contributions of Cournot, Gaussen, Jevons, and myself. Léon Walras. Thanks for reading No Mic Podcast Scribed by Facelesslingjutsu. Subscribe for free to receive new posts and support my work. Léon Walras 1834–1910 was a French economist known for developing general equilibrium theory. He modeled the entire economy as a system of interconnected markets, using simultaneous equations to show how prices and quantities could be simultaneously determined. He also introduced the concept of tâtonnement, a theoretical price adjustment process to reach equilibrium. Walras championed the use of mathematics in economics and is considered a foundational figure in modern microeconomics for his analysis of market interdependencies. Léon Walras's early life was marked by a diverse range of experiences before he dedicated himself fully to economics. Born in Évreux, France, in 1834, his father, Auguste Walras, was an economist himself, though he worked as a school administrator. This early exposure to economic ideas, particularly his father's unorthodox views, significantly influenced Léon. His formal education included studies at the College of Caen and the Lycée of Douai, where he earned baccalaureate degrees in letters and sciences. Despite these academic achievements, he twice failed the entrance exam to the prestigious École Polytechnique, a setback that disappointed his father. Following this, Walras briefly attended the École des Mines in Paris but found engineering unappealing and soon left to pursue his literary interests. This period saw him explore writing, and he even published a novel and a short story. These early literary works surprisingly contained elements of economic reasoning, hinting at his eventual path. However, realizing that literature was not his true calling, he promised his father in 1858 to dedicate his life to economics. Yet, establishing himself in the field was challenging due to a lack of formal economic training. Before securing an academic position, Walras engaged in various occupations to earn a living. He worked as a journalist, contributing to Parisian newspapers on economic themes. He also briefly held a position with the Northern Railway Company and later managed a cooperative banking association. Additionally, he co-published a journal focused on the cooperative movement. These varied experiences, though not directly in academia, likely provided him with practical insights into economic and social issues that would later inform his theoretical work. It wasn't until 1870, at the age of 36, that Walras finally obtained a professorship in political economy at the University of Lausanne in Switzerland, marking the true beginning of his academic career and his profound contributions to economic theory. Léon Walras significantly contributed to the development of marginal utility theory, independently formulating it around the same time as Jevons and Menger during the marginal revolution of the 1870s. This concept posits that the additional satisfaction or utility a consumer derives from consuming one more unit of a good or service diminishes with each successive unit consumed. Development of the cash balance approach to money 1870s to 1883, Walras contributed to monetary theory by integrating money into his general equilibrium framework, particularly through his cash balance approach, which emphasized the demand for money balances. Léon Walras didn't have a formal dissertation. Instead of a single thesis defense, his significant entry into economics was marked by the gradual publication of his seminal work, Elements d'économie politique pour ou théorie de la richesse sociale. This book, released in installments starting in 1874, served as his major intellectual debut and contained his revolutionary ideas on general equilibrium theory and the mathematical modeling of economic systems. Therefore, Elements d'Économie politique pure stands as his first major contribution, effectively taking the place of a traditional dissertation in establishing his profound impact on the field. Advocacy for Land Nationalization 1880s to 1896, Walras proposed land nationalization as a solution to wealth inequality, a theme developed in his lectures during the 1880s. He argued that land rents should be appropriated by the state to fund public goods, reflecting his commitment to social reform within a scientific framework. Léon Walras's subsequent major contribution was the compilation of his lectures and articles into Théorie mathématique de la richesse sociale, mathematical theory of social wealth. This work, published in 1883, served to further elaborate and synthesize the mathematical underpinnings of his general equilibrium theory, making his complex ideas more accessible and reinforcing the mathematical rigor he advocated for in economic analysis. It provided a more condensed and focused exposition of the mathematical framework he had initially presented in his Elements. His next major contribution was Études d'économie sociale, Théorie de la répartition de la richesse sociale, Studies in Social Economics, Theory of the Distribution of Social Wealth, published in 1896. In this work, Walras shifted his focus from the purely theoretical realm of general equilibrium to the social implications of economic organization, particularly concerning the distribution of wealth and the role of the state. He explored ideas related to land ownership, taxation, and the potential for social reform, applying his analytical framework to questions of social justice and equity. This marked a significant expansion of his intellectual project beyond the abstract model of the elements. Léon Walras's next major work was Études d'économie politique appliquée, Théorie de la production de la richesse sociale, Studies in Applied Political Economy, Theory of the Production of Social Wealth, published in 1898. In this work, Walras aimed to bridge the gap between his abstract theoretical framework and the real world. He explored the practical implications of his general equilibrium theory for issues such as production, industry, agriculture, and the role of the state in the economy. Influence on Vilfredo Pareto and successors 1890s to 1910, Walras's general equilibrium theory, developed in Elements d'Économie politique pure 1874, profoundly influenced Vilfredo Pareto, who succeeded Walras at the University of Lausanne in 1893. Pareto built on Walras's mathematical framework, refining it into what became known as Paretien welfare economics. This influence extended into the 1890s and early 1900s, shaping the Lausanne School of Economics. Léon Walras passed away on January 5, 1910, in Clarens, near Montreux, Switzerland, at the age of 75. The final decade of his life was reportedly marked by increasing isolation and frustration due to a perceived lack of recognition for his groundbreaking work, compounded by declining health and mental incapacitation. Posthumous recognition and influence 1910 to 1950s, his general equilibrium theory gained widespread recognition in the mid-20th century, particularly after the 1930s. Economists like John Hicks and Paul Samuelson, in the 1930s to 1950s, built on Walras's framework, cementing his legacy in modern microeconomics and mathematical economics. I state that things are useful as soon as they may serve whatever usage, as soon as they match whatever need and allow its fulfillment. Thus, there is here no point to deal with nuances by way of which one classes, in the language of everyday conversation, utility beside what is pleasant and between the necessary and the superfluous. Necessary, useful, pleasant, and superfluous, all of this is, for us, more or less useful. There is here as well no need to take into account the morality or immorality of the need that the useful things matches and permits to fulfill. Whether a substance is searched for by a doctor to heal an ill person, or by an assassin to poison his family, this is an important question from other points of view, albeit totally indifferent from ours. The substance is useful, for us, in both cases, and may well be more useful in the second case than in the first one. Léon Walras. Papers written about Léon Walras. Becker, V.A. 2022. Marshall and Walras. In Pondering upon Marshall's Conception of Equilibrium, pages 1-20. ResearchGate, https://www.researchgate.net publication 359406599_Marshall_and_Walras https://www.researchgate.net publication 359420028_Marshall_and_Walras. This paper contrasts the Marshall-Léon and Walrasian approaches to economic theory, arguing they represent alternative sub-research programs within neoclassical economics. It examines their views on the purpose of economic theory, the role of mathematics, equilibrium concepts, and trade organization assumptions. Herman, A. 2016. The Studies in Social Economics of Léon Walras and His Far-Reaching Critique of Laissez-faire. International Journal of Pluralism and Economics Education, 7-1, 59-76. https www.academyia.edu 1634596_of_Leon_Walras_An_his_Leon_Critique_of_Laissez_faire https www.academyia.edu 2875771 the_studies_in_L%25C3%25A9 on_Walras_and_his_far_reaching_critique_of_Laissez_faire. This article explores Walras's studies in social economics 1896, highlighting his critique of laissez-faire and advocacy for public intervention, land nationalization, and cooperatives. It positions Walras's work as aligning with social liberalism and heterodox economics. Jaffe, W. 1935. Unpublished Papers and Letters of Léon Walras. Journal of Political Economy, 43 187-207. https www.jstore.org stable 182 4882 https www.encyclopedia.com People, Social Sciences and Law Economics Biographies Léon Walras. This paper presents previously unpublished correspondence and papers by Walras, offering insights into his intellectual development, influences, and contributions to economic thought, particularly general equilibrium theory. Margate, A.W. 1931. Léon Walras and the Cash Balance Approach to the Problem of the Value of Money. Journal of Political Economy, 39 569-600. https www.jstore.org stable 183 7255 https www.encyclopedia.com People, Social Sciences and Law Economics Biographies Léon Walras. This article analyzes Walras's monetary theory, focusing on his cash balance approach to the value of money, and situates it within his broader general equilibrium framework. Margate, A.W. 1935. The Monetary Aspects of the Walrasian System. Journal of Political Economy, 43 145-186. https www.jstore.org stable 182 4881 https www.encyclopedia.com People Social Sciences and Law Economics Biographies Léon Walras. This paper delves into the monetary components of Walras's general equilibrium system, exploring how money and credit are integrated into his mathematical models. Potter, J.P. 2012. Léon Walras, An Economist Socialist Liberal. Postprint Halsh 00703837, HAL. https ideas.repc.org phal journal halsh 00703837.html https ideas.repc.org idzijplur v7y 2016 i1p59-76.html. This paper examines Walras's vision of scientific, liberal, and humanitarian socialism, as articulated in his social and applied economics works, emphasizing his proposals for land nationalization and state regulation. Ragna, L. and Legris, A. 2007. Léon Walras and Vilfredo Pareto on Social Justice. Postprint Halsh 01246133, HAL. https ideas.repc.org phal journal halsh 01246133.html https ideas.repc.org phal journal halsh 01246133.html. This article analyzes methodological and analytical divergences between Walras and Pareto, particularly regarding social justice. It highlights Walras's belief that his marginal productivities theorem connects pure economics to social justice, contrasting with Pareto's separation of economics and social phenomena. Walker, D.A. 1970. Léon Walras in the light of his correspondence and related papers. Journal of Political Economy, 78 4, 797-815. https www.jstore.org stable 182 9925 https www.e-elgar.com shop GBP The Legacy of Léon Walras 9781840643077.html. This paper draws on Walras's correspondence edited by Jaffe, 1965 to provide a detailed examination of his intellectual evolution, personal struggles, and contributions to general equilibrium theory. Walker, D.A. 1984. Is Walras's theory of general equilibrium a normative scheme? History of Political Economy, 16-4, 667-702. https doi.org 10.12150082702-16-4-667 https www.e-elgar.com shop GBP The Legacy of Léon Walras 9781840643077.html. This article investigates whether Walras's general equilibrium theory is normative, arguing that it primarily serves as a descriptive and analytical framework rather than a prescriptive one. Walker, D.A. 1999. Some comments on Léon Walras's health and productivity. Journal of the History of Economic Thought, 21 4, 437-448. https doi.org 10.1017s1053837200004557 https www.cambridge.org Core Journals Journal of the History of Economic Thought Article ABS Some Comments on Léon Walras Health and Productivity 48D8 FC2EA1 43609 AF 8591 C690468 CC. This paper discusses Walras's health challenges and their impact on his productivity, drawing on his correspondence and related papers to provide context for his academic output.